So we do have a few updates on the stories we've been talking about all week. First up, the Queen. So check this out. The queue to see the Queen, or the line, has gotten so long that authorities had to close it for 6 hours. It was already 5 miles long, which begs the question, will there be a queue to get in the queue? David Beckham was spotted waiting in the queue with people around him, all confirming he was waiting for more than 10 hours with everybody else. But the British are taking it like true champs. Here's what one person said at 1 a.m. while waiting.
But this queue is different to all other queues I've ever been in because everybody here is here for a purpose, to see the Queen. If you go to Stansted Airport, you're in a queue for your holiday. Well, that's fine. But here, this is not a queue. This is a magical moment we're all sharing together.
So what do you think of this queue? Would you be able to stand a 12-hour line to see the Queen? For some reason, I don't see you doing this.
Yeah, and let's stop calling it a queue. We got it. It's a line, okay? We said queue 50 times. We got it. We don't say spot of tea because we're talking about British people. It's a cup of tea, okay? Enough with the queue. Would I stay in line for 12 hours? No, I wouldn't.
Anything?
I don't think so. I really don't. Was it 12 or 20?
It was. Go ahead, Tori.
No, I don't know. At one point it was 24 hours yesterday, and I don't know if it was 12 today.
It doesn't matter. I still wouldn't.
Long.
Yeah.
That's too long. That's
Okay.
too long.
It was 11. No.
Was there something that you guys would stay in
Tori,
line for?
I think of you as, we all think of Tori as very politically driven. Would you be in D.C. waiting in a 12-hour queue, line? I gotta
Good one.
get that one in.
I feel like that's going to be the theme
The
of the
whole
day.
show.
Yeah.
Or any of your political.
I drove 8 hours in a van to protest the Bush inauguration from Michigan to D.C. because I felt Florida was wrongly counted. So I've always been sort of ready to go do it. But I also think this is a moment. The queue is the story. Sorry again for saying queue. But really, it's like after 9/11, when JFK passed, they all knew where they were. They'll remember this queue
line
forever, and it will unite them, and it's a strength to see how much the British people respect their background, their monarchy. It's actually quite a boon to their morale, I think.
Yes, they'll remember it because they'll still be standing in it. There's no way. No, I'm sorry.
How unpatriotic of you.
I know, that's
But what am I?
terrible.
I don't have 12 hours to do anything.
Why? What's taking up your day that you can't do that to say goodbye to a queen, a once in a lifetime?
You could say goodbye at home or go to the church. You don't have to wait in line for 12 hours.
Didn't you just go to some ranch with horses for 12 hours?
Right, that was just
be
me.
alone?
Guess what? No people, no lines. That was the incentive.
But you had 12 hours to do that.
I was working.
Okay.
Yes, it was a staycation.
What would you stay in line for?
This is going to sound selfish because I thought about this earlier. I would stay in line for a free vacation. Hands down.
Oh, yeah.
For 12 hours?
Easy. I would bring a tent, maybe a chair, some beverages, and I would just camp out and know that at the end of that 12-hour stint, I would receive a vacation for me and my family.
I like that.
It's actually quite selfish.
Too bad that doesn't exist.
Yes.
Okay. All right. We also have news about Prince Harry. So the prince will now be allowed to wear his military uniform tomorrow as he and his brother stand vigil at their grandmother's coffin. Now, King Charles decided to give him the same special dispensation, allowing him to wear the uniform that Prince Andrew was granted. So what do you think changed, Tori, that Prince Harry will now be allowed to wear this uniform, which is, by the way, well deserved?
Thank you.
Right, 2 tours, 10 years in service, Afghanistan soldier, what?
He was an army captain, and when I say I watched a BBC interview, he's in his gear, he's on the runway, and the alarm goes, he rips the mic off and runs to his jet or aircraft, and he's rescued people. At some point, when you're letting Andrew wear the uniform, I'm going to laugh straight in your face. I'm sorry, you're letting this alleged pedophile, as he is, wear it, and not Harry, who's really given more service to anyone. So I'm very happy this was squashed, and I hope it's a preview of maybe they come take
a reconciliation of some
or a
sort.
peace offering, an olive branch.
Well, he deserves to wear that uniform.
Yes,
so I'm
he
glad
does.
he is. Well, people are also talking about King Charles after his first week as king, specifically all the drama he's had recently with pens. First, there was this incident.
I know people are glad they tuned in.
Look at
there's this incident where the king was anxious to have someone clear the pen and ink from a desk. Okay, he's seen waiting for them to come and move the pen, move it.
Shoo shoo.
Then, at a signing ceremony in Ireland, the king got the date wrong, and then his pen began to leak. Yep, take a look.
Oh God, I hate this.
Oh look, it's going everywhere. Hang on. So nobody got a job. Oh look, it's so big.
can't bear this bloody thing. What they do is every stinking
Check out what Trevor Noah had to say about the whole thing.
And by the way, I love how Charles says the pens leak on him all the time. You see the way he's this bloody thing. You're literally the king of England, dude. If you don't like the pens, get different pens. I'm not an expert in the monarchy, but I'm pretty sure the hierarchy doesn't go Prince William, King Charles, and then the guy who buys the pens. I don't think that's how it goes. Just get a new pen.
Okay, do you think it's fair that people are criticizing him and his pens? Do you think that they would have done this with Queen Elizabeth?
No, absolutely not. And if there's ever a skit for Saturday Night Live, that was it,
so
right there,
cool,
for
so
sure,
smart.
for sure. But I think he's gonna have a rough go. I think it's one thing when you take a little old lady who is the queen, right? You can't really throw too many jabs, right? I feel like the new king is just gonna be open. Bullseye for arrows around the world, and they're going to make fun of him. Unfortunately, there are no walls that you can't be like, hey, that's this or that's this. It's open door policy on the king. That's not the right word.
Open door. He's fussy.
Fair
game.
Fair
Game on the king.
Open season. Thank you, buddy. That was it.
Chris, our executive
Thank
producer.
you. He's very fussy, unlike Queen Elizabeth. She was a mechanic. She got her hands dirty. She liked to ride horses, and that's sort of the English way. He's never picked up anything in his whole life, okay? There's a story of a butler coming in, and he's like, Paul, the Queen's letter has fallen in the waste bin, and the waste bin's right there. There's nothing else in the waste bin. And he's like, I can't, ooh. And Paul picked it up, hands it, he goes, is that all, Your Royal Highness? He's like, thank you, Paul.
I don't like that.
Right, it's off-putting.
I don't like that at all. I don't
But
care
that's
how,
what they are.
Not well, I don't know the royal family, but I would think, to Tori's point, we don't hear Queen Elizabeth abusing her power in that sense. Now, I know that there's a history that we can all talk about and we have before on the show, but I don't think we've ever heard reports of her saying, oh, the wastebasket.
But he's also never seen the king digging through the trash. Like that, he can't be seen like
Yes,
that.
he can.
Is it off-putting or off-putting?
It's off-putting. Oh.
You said like pudding, like you were going to eat it.
Oh, man, I'm hungry now.
Wow, we are just waiting for one of us to make a mistake today.
Yeah, we are.
Jeff especially.
We're waiting in the queue to get on each other.
Good one.
It was good.